Welcome back to Cougs Chaos. I am your co-host Logan Press, and I'm here with
Jack Zimmerman.
just like every episode, we're going to start today off with a little Cougs talk.
Yeah.
Pretty exciting. This past weekend was the Coug football opener.
Hell yeah, it was.
It was a good game.
Good way to start the season.
It was. I wish we would have. The score would have been a little further apart, but
yeah, we let a late touchdown in, but then we got a late touchdown.
Yeah, I must say. So, Jane, it's pretty crazy to think. I was talking to my dad when the game was going on that this is our first football game that we're students.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, we watched it from our house.
Yeah.
But that was just super weird to me.
Yeah, it made me, I've been a Cougar fan for a long time, obviously, but it was, a different feeling watching like as a student,
Yeah.
And obviously it would have been way more fun if I was at school or at the game. But I mean, it was an away game anyways. But it was definitely a cool feeling. I felt like more invested, and that's more than already being a fan, because it's like now I have like a real connection.
Yeah. And it's like, and the cool thing was our quarterback Jane Delora, who I must say
He played pretty well.
Pretty good game. Is the same age as us.
Oh my god! I was on the phone with my girlfriend because she was at my house. We started watching. She left, but I was on the phone with my girlfriend, and I was like, our quarterback ran for his first rushing touchdown, and I was like, this guy's my age. He could be younger than me.
Honestly, yeah.
I'm sitting here in my room watching a football game. He's
going
out
to
there
college
playing.
online. Yeah. Oh my gosh, no, that was just like
it's weird.
That was wild.
But it's similar. Like the rookies and all these in pro sports now are our age.
Yeah, like in basketball and everything.
What are we doing with our lives?
I don't know. We should be like, oh gosh. And that was my one critique with like watching the game is, so like Jaden had a good game. I must say, like the second half, I think the coaches kind of let the ball, like throw the ball, because the first half he's a little more conservative and missed a few throws. But I think
he had a little bit of accuracy issues. He threw like behind his
that's
receivers
what I was
a
going
little
to say.
bit.
Is I think that give him a year or two in the weight room and everything, and let him build into this starting quarterback role. I think that he can. Once he gets that arm strength up, that was my only critique.
And he's a true freshman.
Yeah.
So he underthrew a wide open touchdown.
Yeah,
did you see that?
Yeah,
one?
that's what I'm saying.
Our receiver burned the defender, and he just underthrew it.
That's what I'm saying. If he can get a little bit of air underneath it, I think he could be something good. And he's taller than Kyler Murray, but he looks
pretty similar.
Yeah, running out there just like a little taller.
He's definitely got to bulk up some muscle.
Yeah.
But I think for a true freshman, his very first college game, I think that was I think it was a good sign. What if he's in college? Depending on how good he really becomes, if he goes pro, but we got 3-4 years out of him.
Yeah.
So I think, of course, unless we get someone else, but I think he showed a bright future. His running was pretty impressive. Like I thought he could avoid damage pretty well.
And it was pretty exciting. Coach Rolo getting his first win.
Yeah.
And that was the crazy part. And unluckily, we didn't have Max Borghi out there, which would have been awesome to see him. But it was nice to at least see our rushing numbers go up.
But he rushed for like
200
yards.
Yeah, something yards. And so McIntosh was Borghi's fill in there, and he did a really good job.
He killed it. A couple times he just broke away.
And so I think like seeing that, and then now I think when Borghi gets healthy and gets back in, I think it's gonna be so exciting to watch.
It's gonna be so much fun. It was definitely a great way to start the season. Given, granted, I don't know if Oregon State is like that good.
Yeah, I don't think they have a good warm-up team, I think.
Yeah, it's not like we're playing a ranked opponent or whatever, but it was definitely a fun game. It's always great to to start the year off with a win. And it's actually kind of funny when I was so I'm in a group chat with like a bunch of people in my accounting class, and pregame, a guy on the team, number 33, I'm blanking on his name now. He's in the group chat, right? And he was snapping us from the locker room, and then during halftime he was Snapchatting.
Really?
Yeah. And someone was like, "Yo, I saw you on TV," and he was like, "Hell yeah!" It was like during halftime, just casually.
So funny.
But yeah, that was funny.
That's pretty cool.
But yeah, it was a fun game. It was fun to watch as a Cougar student. Sitting in my room alone, really enjoying the party.
I don't think we can say that as much for the Seahawks game. That was just such a
I
terrible.
turned it off at the end.
It was. I couldn't. I took a shower in the middle.
That's what I did.
It was so bad.
I couldn't deal with it. It was. I mean, here's the problem with the Seahawks, right? Our defense.
That's it.
Our defense is so bad that if Russ is not playing at like MVP level, then we will not win.
We scored 34 points. You can't. But
that's right.
Win.
Like on our average.
Yeah, you don't win when your defense lets in 44 points though.
And like. Russ had 4 turnovers, 2 fumbles, and 2 picks. That's really, really bad for him, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, I think that is a big. I mean, our defense sucked, but if we hadn't given the ball away that many times, we maybe could have won the game. But that's exactly why I still think Russell's MVP race is still alive. Because if he doesn't play his absolute best football, then our defense is not good enough to keep us in the game.
Yeah.
You know, and I think, which is really frustrating. Our defense is on track to giving up the most yards in NFL history.
It's so bad. It's so rough.
And freaking Josh Allen dropping over 400 on us.
That was his grandma died though, so respect to him.
I mean, yeah, it's got to be probably an emotional game for him.
But still, we just suck so bad.
And how do we sack him like 8 times and still get our butts kicked?
It was rough.
We got to fire our defensive coordinator.
Yeah,
and you know what's funny?
Ken Norton needs to go.
Ken Norton, bro, screw you, man. Like, every time I'm watching, like, a Hawks game and our defense is just giving up points after points after points, and I'm just, like, I'm saying to my family and stuff, like, God, I hope we fire our defensive coordinator. And my mom's always like, do you really think it's his fault?
Yes.
Like, yes. I mean, and you can't.
We don't have terrible players.
Exactly. I mean, we actually have a pretty good roster out there on defense. And, of course, it is not all the coach's fault.
No.
And you can also throw a little bit of blame on the head coach. And, you know, you can throw blame on the higher-ups that haven't fired him already. But, yes, you got to get rid of the defensive coordinator. It doesn't matter, like, if he has had good stuff in the past because, I mean, we're just horrible right now. And we have some good names. I mean, we have Wagner. We have Wright. We have Jamal. We have Dunlap now. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Trey Flowers has been playing pretty well, kind of.
Yeah, Dunbar's not that great. I don't know. It'll be interesting.
We just need a new defensive coordinator.
We do. I don't know if you've seen this, but I feel like this season there's a whole lot more injuries. Like
a lot of injuries. Like, and where you remember like opening like 1 or 2 weeks, just like injury after injury after injury, so many ACLs.
But it's so bad that like even college, I feel like they show the injuries. Like Dak Prescott's, that one was terrible. And Tony Romo's or Troy Aikman's up in the booth. Oh yeah, it's just a cramp. It's just a cramp. And then they show the other angle and his foot's going sideways. Or I just watched like a college football game, and the guy's like I don't even like. It's so nasty. I saw it real time. He got tackled falling in the end zone, and his ankle's just crooked.
The problem is like they show them close up because far away. Obviously, you watch it real time, you don't know. Yeah. So then they show the slow-mo replay. Well, because I don't know if you remember. Well, remember when Tyler Lockett broke his ankle, really similar to Dak?
Yeah.
And they showed it, and I remember actually, Robert Griffin III.
Yep.
He broke his leg against the Seahawks, and I was watching it. And they showed it, and his was probably the most gruesome.
His was,
and it was just
Alex Smith too.
And like they show it because they're like, okay, let's see what the hell is going on.
Yeah,
like,
why
he's
is
not
he on
getting
the ground?
Out.
Exactly.
And then they show it, and then they show it again, and then they show it again. It's like, okay, we get it.
They need to have like a warning, like, hey, don't watch this if you have a weak stomach or
but
whatever.
Man, injuries are bad.
And I kind of have a similar story to this. That I dislocated my knee. And so it's a pretty funny story.
Any slow-mo replays for millions of people?
No, that did not happen.
Luckily.
But so I was in this tournament PE class, and it's with one of my favorite teachers. And this was last year, so my senior year.
Yeah.
And it was right before we were getting ready for a student staff basketball game, which I was so excited about. I was like, I got to play in it. I was like, and I had been training forever. And so I was
getting in the weight room.
Bro, I was actually not bad at basketball.
Could you dunk?
I couldn't dunk, but I could shoot. I was not doing bad. I don't want to pat myself on the back. No, but so in that tournament PE class, my teacher came up to me and was like, "Oh, what should we do?" I was like, "Oh, we should do a basketball tournament." And I was like, I have my basketball shoes in my truck because I'm going to go to the gym after school. And so I went and grabbed them. And so we were playing this basketball tournament, like 3-on-3 or 4-on-4.
I haven't actually heard this story.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so we're playing it, and we play the first game. And I didn't play that well, but we won. We won by a significant amount. And so then we go in to play this next game, and it's against a better team. And so I'm like, all right, we're going to put on a show and everything. And they get the ball first, and I'm guarding this guy, and a screen comes up to the right, and so I was going to go through it. And I don't know if I hit my kneecap on him or something, but I heard a pop, and it was the most pain I've ever experienced. It was terrible. I didn't even know what happened. But I had friends in the class, and they said it went on for like 1 or 2 minutes, but I think it was just 30 seconds. I am in that class, just on the floor, screaming curse words. F this, F this, son of a bitch. It's just like as loud as I can, because I'm just in the most pain. And I look down, and there's just a lump on the right side of my leg. And I'm like, I don't even know what happened. It just, all I knew was it hurt. And I'm in this gym, and I feel so bad after, like now, I'm like, because I just swore so much. I'm just in the son of a F this. And so finally, like, everybody like looks at me and like, oh shit, like
it's real.
Yeah, it's real. Like some people started laughing because they're like, oh, he's just swearing.
Yeah.
But like then people looked at me, and I didn't even care. I was on the ground. And so my teacher comes up, and that was the coolest thing. My teacher came up, and he like cradled me because I'm on the ground, and he's cradling me. And I'm like, it hurts a lot. And so I took off my hat and I put it on my knee so I didn't have to look at it, because that's what gave me the weakest stomach.
Yeah. And
so luckily my mom is a physical therapist on island, and so I had 2 of my closest friends in that class, and so they were there and they helped me. And I'm like, all right, get my mom on the phone. And she wouldn't answer because she was with the patient. And so we had my grandma run over to her office, and she got her, and my mom came rushing up, and they called 911 and everything. And my favorite thing about this whole story is like after like it initially happened, I got some water in me because I was super pale and everything. I'm like on the floor, and I think that was probably the funniest I've ever been in my life. Like D-Rock, our principal, came in, and I go, hey, D-Rock, I don't think I'm going to be able to make it to the rest of my class. And then paramedics came, and they put me in like an air cast or something, and they went and talked to my teacher to see what happened. And I turned over my shoulder, and I said, hey, PL's his name. I said, hey, PL, did you tell him how good I was playing? I want to make sure that's on the official report. I want to make sure that's on the documents.
Of course you're going to make a joke about all this. I mean, that's so easy.
They're putting the cast in, and I said, hey, guys, I think this was on purpose. I think this wasn't intentional. I think this was intentional.
Someone found you.
I think they saw how well I was doing in the previous game. And so, yeah, so I'm just they get me on the cast, and my mom's on her way, and my mom gets there, and I was like, hey, PL, I don't think I'm going to be able to make it to my next class with you. I'm sorry. And so it was funny. And they got me into the ambulance and everything. And I learned there, they don't turn the lights on for everybody.
Really?
They didn't turn the lights on for me.
You're sitting there in the darkness?
No, like the
because it's not an emergency.
Yeah, I guess so. I never really thought that. And they were like, yeah, we're heading to the boat. And they're just driving normal, waiting at stop signs and everything.
You're not a life or death situation.
Well, I thought I was.
With a sprained knee, you're sitting there joking around and you think you're going to die.
But that didn't happen. So we had to catch a Tacoma boat. And my mom was in the car next or behind us. And like at this point, all my adrenaline is rushing, and I'm pretty calm. And the paramedics in the back with me, and we're just sitting there, and I'm like, oh, what's your name? Where are you from?
Just getting to know him.
Bro, we became pretty good friends.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, I live in Tacoma. And we're like, oh, where to eat? Where should I eat? And so I got to
If I don't die, where should I go to eat lunch?
So that was pretty cool. And so we got to the boat, and we got first on the boat, which I'm like, why don't we put the lights on? If we get first on the boat, it didn't quite make sense to me.
Because you're not life or death, but you still get priority.
I felt so. And so we're getting off the boat, and that was really sucked because my adrenaline started like wearing off.
Yeah. And
so like it started to really hurt. And and I don't remember why I remember this, but it was like the first time it had snowed.
Yeah.
So I was in the back of the ambulance going through Tacoma, and it's snowing on the streets, and I'm like, oh, this is pretty beautiful. And then I'm like, hey, it hurts like a bitch. And so
just enjoying your pain.
Oh gosh. And so this is the funniest part of the whole story. So we get to the hospital, and they get me in there, and they're asking me all these questions. Oh, when was the last time you eaten, and all this? And they're like, okay, we're gonna give you we're gonna give you some drugs, and then we're gonna set the dislocated knee, because I wasn't really even sure what had happened.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I don't know what I thought. And so they're like, all right, we're gonna give you some drugs, and then we're gonna set the knee. And so they give me these drugs that they stick up my nose and like push it up.
Sounds amazing.
Oh, they were like, oh yeah, it people say it feels like when you jump in a pool and like you don't close your nose.
Yeah.
And so I was like, all right. And so they gave it to me, and I'm sitting there, and they gave it to me, and then they set the knee, and like it didn't even hurt, which was nice. And so I'm sitting there, and I'm like, these drugs like don't make me feel like anything. Like they must.
Come on, go harder. Yeah, what kind of hospital is this?
I think they gave me the wrong dosage, because I'm just sitting there like I am in complete control of my body right now.
Yet you didn't feel your knee get set.
Yeah. Yeah. And thinking back, I was like messed up.
Yeah.
And my mom has all these videos. It was right after the halftime, the Super Bowl happened, and it was Shakira and J-Lo. And my nurse was pretty attractive.
Oh my God.
And so, like, thinking in the moment, I was like, yeah, I'm like in complete control. But like seeing the videos of me talking and everything,
you were just out of it.
Oh my gosh. I'm sitting there, and my mom's like, what did you just say about the nurse? And I go, Mom, she's really hot. I go, Shakira, who? and then my dad calls, because he was at a job site or something. And I hear my mom talking. I go, Mom, I want to talk to Dad. And so I get the phone from my dad. I go, hi, Dad. And he goes, hey, buddy, how you doing? I said, Dad, they did this on purpose. They saw how well I was doing. And he goes, okay, buddy, maybe let's give the phone back to your mom. But yeah, it was, and then the drugs started wearing off, and I was like, wow, like I was messed up. I did not recognize anything. But yeah,
man, that's funny.
Yeah, no, so that was my story. It was an interesting time. Yeah, and hopefully we'll be able to get PL on the podcast pretty soon to get his perspective.
That'd be fun.
Of the story.
I'd love to hear him reenact what you were saying.
I swear it was for only like 30 seconds.
Yeah, but you're the one in pain.
I know that's what I'm a little concerned about, because everybody else told me it was for longer.
It would be so. I mean, I can just imagine being one of your classmates, and especially before like they go over to you to see how bad it is. And they're just standing around for a minute and a half, just as this kid is sitting on the ground screaming swear words. Like that'd be really funny. Yeah. Oh man. Well, speaking of like injury stories, sport injury stories, because I've had worse injuries than this, but I just think this is kind of a funny story. So Logan and I, we actually first met playing sports, and we were on baseball teams with each other year after year after year. And it was really this one time. God, it must have been, I think it was fifth grade.
It
must have been fifth grade. It was right before a game, and we were all as a team just like warming up, getting ready. Our coach had us get there early. And then
the coach, my dad.
Yeah, Logan's dad. And so we were like getting ready. Logan's dad was hitting us fly balls, and we were just catching them. We were all standing
in the
outfield,
group, right?
Well, no, we were like all together.
We were okay.
Yeah. So we were all grouped up. And he was hitting us fly balls, and he hit this one, and I was like, oh, I got it. And then another teammate of mine's like, no, I got it. And so I kind of like took my attention off. I was still looking at it, but I was like, whatever, okay, he got it. And then last second, he's like, no, Jack, you got it. I'm like, whoa, what? Okay. So I like
try.
Yeah, so I put my glove up, and it like bounces off like the thumb of my glove, but not really bounces. It just barely grazes.
Yeah.
Barely. And it just hits me right in the eye. And I
there was no swearing.
No, I was in fifth grade, but I kind of like fell to the ground, just like holding my eye. And people were like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
Obviously they didn't swear or anything, but it was like, it was really funny. And then the coach, fucking Logan's dad, comes running over and he's like, "Oh my god, like I'm sorry." And my dad was there, but he was like sitting at his car or something because we were there early. He didn't have to watch us warm up, and I don't remember. I think it was Jack's dad, the other coach, or maybe it was a mom that was there.
Mhm.
Someone ran over and gave me an ice pack, and so like I was holding it on my eye. I was a little kid, and that hurt, so I didn't play that game. And so I went home, and I remember the morning after, my eye was like literally swollen shut. And I went to school the next day. I had sunglasses on, and being a school, they're like, "Oh, don't wear sunglasses because apparently that's horrible." So like I take my sunglasses off, and everyone, I don't know if you were in that class, but I know Jack was, and I think a couple other teammates were. And so I took my sunglasses off, and all the teammates started laughing because they know why.
Yeah.
And everyone's like,
"Oh my god,
like Jack has a huge black eye. Like, what's going on?" And it was like it was like super dark. It was super swollen. And everyone was like constantly asking me what happened because not very often do fifth graders get black eyes.
On Vashon.
Yeah, on Vashon in our tiny little school. And so, but I started telling like every person who asked a different
story.
And but then I remember for the rest of that season, because I was pretty early in the year.
Yeah, and you had it for a long time.
It lasted basically the rest of the season.
Yeah.
And I just remember it was like a running joke that I would have to like stare down the pitchers.
Yeah, like this is what happened to the last guy.
Yeah, just like
threw a strike.
I'm right-handed, so I stand there with my left eye, it was my left eye facing the pitcher. So it was just a running joke because it lasted forever.
And I remember going into those games. We'd be walking, if it's an away game off island, going to some West Seattle.
Yeah.
Guys. We'd be walking. We'd let you walk up first because you got this black guy, and then you're the only fifth grader there with an earring in there.
Yeah, and I was a big kid.
Bro, you're just walking, and we were like, "Hey, that's our man right there."
Yeah, it was a fun time.
I didn't tell him that he got the black eye for missing that.
Well, it wasn't my fault that I missed him, man. But looking back at it, I wish I'd played the game that was like that day that I got hit in the eye. But I was a little kid, and I was like, well, this hurts, so I'm going to go home.
I don't blame you.
But I wish I had played because I think that would have been fun. But it swelled really quickly.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's my funny little sports injury. A little bit more severe than Logan's, but
yeah, I know.
I don't want to like make your injury sound like nothing.
Maybe we could have my dad come on and talk about that.
He's the one who did it. Yeah, I mean, my baseball coach gave me a black eye when I was in fifth grade. That's what I'm gonna tell people.
That should be the title of this podcast episode.
Oh man.
So this next segment of the episode, we've kind of got a new.
Yeah, we're trying something new.
New game, pretty much.
Yeah.
So it's going to be working title trivia with consequences.
Yep.
So how it's going to work is Jack is going to ask me a trivia question about anything, right?
It's really random.
Okay, random.
Really random.
Some of them are multiple choice. Some of them aren't.
One of them is not. The rest are.
Okay. So, and then if I answer them right, if I answer a question right, I have a list here of questions Jack has to answer, embarrassing questions Jack has to answer. And then, but if I get it wrong, Jack has a list.
I have a list of his, and I will ask him, and he has to answer.
So yeah, so it's.
But there's not too many questions. This is our first go around at this segment. But if you guys like it, let us know.
On Instagram at Cougs Chaos.
Yeah, DM us, and maybe we'll put up some multiple choice questions on our story that you guys can answer.
We'll throw something up there.
Yeah. Okay. So first question. This one is the non multiple choice.
Oh dear. Uh-oh.
And you'll see why it's not multiple choice. What is the rarest Eminem color? And the reason why it's not multiple choice is, the choices are the colors of the Eminem. Yeah. So what is the most rare Eminem color?
Most rare Eminem color.
I didn't even know like there was a rarity to the colors.
Yeah, I thought they were all just random.
Yeah, me too. Because everyone has a favorite color, even though I feel like they all taste the same.
I think they're all the same. Yeah. Okay, I no idea. I'm gonna completely guess brown.
That's correct.
Really?
Are you kidding me?
I love this game.
Are you kidding me? You randomly guessed.
All right.
Why would brown?
Okay. Let's go to this first question. What's your worst habit? What do you think your worst habit is?
Oh man. So I think probably my worst habit. My lips get really chapped, right? Mm-hmm. And I pick at them, which might sound gross.
Starts bleeding.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of people do it. Maybe not. But it's just like I just do. My lips bleed, and it's bad.
No, I get that.
Well, because I don't know. I don't really know.
You don't have any super dark and.
Well, what is like a bad habit? I
don't know.
I mean, that's I'd say that's bad because it makes my lips bleed.
That's true. All right, we'll take it. All right, so 1 for 1.
Okay, next question.
Yes.
Again, very random. Like these are not connected at all. Going from M&Ms.
Yes.
How many bones are in the human body? And this is a multiple choice question.
My mom is going to be so mad at me if I get this.
And I knew this one. So.
Oh, okay.
A. Yeah. 206.
Okay.
B. 205. C. 201. And D. 13.
Okay. So I'm thinking right now, body is pretty symmetrical, right?
Okay.
So I don't think there's going to be an odd number of bones.
Mm.
Right?
But like hands, fingers, toes.
Yeah, but you've got the same on both. Okay,
and then you have a spine, which is not
vertebrae. I'm going to just take my chances.
Okay. So I'm going with 13?
No, I'm going to say 206.
You are correct.
Am I really?
Yeah.
I love this game so much. Okay, Jack, have you ever lied about your age and why?
I have.
Okay.
Yeah. I lied to make myself older.
I would hope so.
Yeah. No, so
do I want to hear the story or not?
Well, there's a few times. Well, let's go with the one that's less more acceptable.
My grandma listens. Don't forget.
Yeah, no, it's not. So this story, I was actually with a friend of mine, right?
Okay.
And I was at a GameStop, and I had in my old Xbox, and there was a deal going where you could trade in your old Xbox and get $200 off the new Xbox.
Oh.
So I was like, we should go do that, right?
Yeah.
So I grabbed my Xbox, I packed it all up. I had the original package, and we go to the GameStop. And we go to the first one, and the guy's like, sorry, you have to be 18. And at the time, I was 17.
Oh.
And I was like, well, shit. But then we just went to another one because we thought of a plan. So we go into this new GameStop, and she plugs my Xbox in. She has yet to ask for my age, so we think we're going to get away with it, right? Mm-hmm. And she's like checking to make sure everything's working, and it does. And she's like, okay, now I just need a form of ID. And I'm like, why? And she's like, oh, well, you need to be 18. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I don't have my driver's license. And she's like, well, do you have any form of ID? And I gave her, because I was running Start, right?
Yeah.
So I gave her my South Seattle college ID. And I said, listen, this is my college ID. I'm 18. And she's like, okay, that's good enough. And
really?
Yeah. So she just took my college ID and she took my word for it. And I switched out my Xbox for the new one.
Wow.
And so it worked.
That's a good story.
Yeah. It was a fun little experience. Next one. Okay. Again, random as hell. And you should know this one, Logan.
Don't say that, Jack.
Logan Prowse, you should know this one. How many stripes are on the American flag? A, 6, B, 7, D, 13. Oh, wait, C, 13, or D, 102?
13.
Yeah.
Let's go.
That one was easy.
Yeah.
That one was easy.
Oh, Jack, we are running out of questions.
Oh, my God.
If you were to become famous, what would it be for?
This podcast.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm down with that.
I'm gonna go ahead and say this podcast, yeah, because it's gonna blow up.
It's gonna blow up. Just you guys can say you were here. What episode is this? 6?
I think so.
Yeah, you guys were here for episode 6.
Yeah.
Of the Logan and Jack.
Now, hopefully this one will not be the one you get. Hopefully you don't guess it. You just know this one though. It's kind of weird. I didn't. Okay, what does the letter E stand for in Chuck E. Cheese?
It stands for something?
Yeah. A, Ernest. B, Edward. C, entertainment. Or D, eardrum.
Okay, so Chuck E.
Cheese.
Chuck.
It's a name.
Chuck Entertainment Cheese. I don't think that's it. Chuck Edward Cheese.
And Chuck Ernest Cheese. Or eardrum.
I'm going to say Ernest.
Is that your final answer?
That's my final
That is wrong.
Dang it. What is it?
It's entertainment.
Is it
yeah,
really?
It is. It is.
I thought it was like the founder.
Yeah, I would have guessed it was like a full name, but no, it's entertainment. So
that's stupid.
We're finally gonna get to ask you a question.
I feel like my questions are more embarrassing than yours.
I'm gonna good. Oh man, there's so many here I wanna know. Let's go with describe your most recent romantic encounter in detail.
Okay, so
you seem so eager to tell
I know
the story.
this isn't your typical one, but so I was off island and I went to Port Orchard the other day, right?
Okay. Oh, it was like really recent.
Yeah, I went to McDonald's.
Nice.
You
That's
know,
where all romantic stuff happens.
You know Danny Duncan?
Yes.
The YouTuber?
I do.
So I go up to the drive-thru, order my thing.
Did you have a romantic encounter with Danny Duncan?
I wish, bro. I went up, and the guy who has the card, who like does the like, I order my thing, and then I drive up to the first window, and I give him my card.
Yeah.
He has a Danny Duncan sweatshirt on.
Nice.
And I go, hey man, I like your sweatshirt. And he looks at me, and goes, thanks, brother. And like in that moment, there was a connection. I'm not joking you right now.
How is that? That's not a romantic.
Yes, it was pretty romantic.
I don't think that's what this question wants.
I don't care. That was the most romantic thing that's happened to me recently. I go to college in my bedroom, Jack. What do you want?
So do I.
What do you want from me? No, it was like in that moment, him and I locked eyes, and we were like, man, like if we were anywhere else, like if I had no, not that.
If we were anywhere else, I'd hop over this little like divider and I'll kiss you.
No,
man.
like if I had walked in and he was in there, we'd have like a full-on conversation. But there's cars behind me. They really wanted me to go fast, and I just thought like we could have had a real good friendship right there.
What, friendship is not romantic then?
Yeah, but it was some from friendship.
That was a disappointing answer.
For some friendships can be romantic.
I have kind of a similar story. I was in
made up with a
no. I was with my girlfriend, right? We were in a drive-thru at a coffee shop, and I was getting her a drink. And this guy who was taking our order, you know, I have pretty long hair, you know, and so this guy, I'm making the order, and he's like, "Oh, I really like your hair," and I'm like, "Thank you," and then he was like, "Yeah, like you know, I really dig it." And I was like,
he like complimented it more,
dude. And I was like, oh, thank you. And he was like, yeah, like I tried to grow my hair out long once, but I just couldn't. And I was like, yeah, you know, it gets pretty annoying, but you know, I'm growing it out. And he's like, yeah, man, like you got some really nice hair. And I'm like,
he's like, hey, can I borrow it?
I'm like, thank you. And he just like could not leave my hair
That's
alone,
weird.
Bro. And then I was about to drive away. And he's like, hey, have a nice day. You got nice hair. And I just drive away.
Weird.
I'm like, what the hell's going on? Oh. Anyways, you got a bonus story. Yeah. Okay, next question. Yeah. How fast can an ostrich run?
Oh.
A, 15 miles per hour.
Okay.
B, 30 miles per hour.
Okay.
C, 40 miles per hour. D, they don't run, they fly.
I don't know, Jack.
Good.
I feel like they're fast, but I don't know if they're 30 miles an hour fast, because that's like fast.
That's fast. That's faster than the fastest human.
I'm going to go 15 miles an hour.
Final answer?
Yeah.
That's wrong.
Anytime you say final answer, I know I'm wrong.
No, I'm just going to say it on everything.
Damn it.
It is B, 30 miles per hour.
Dang it.
Let's see. Okay, let's go ahead and say, what is the most embarrassing vomit story?
Oh, this is rough. Okay, so I used to. I don't get them very much anymore, but I used to get migraines really bad.
Oh yeah, I've gotten migraines.
Like, and I know when they start because like your vision.
You can feel it coming.
Yeah, and like mine start with like my vision, like my left eye, like I'll lose vision in like my left eye.
Yeah.
And so I'm in high school, and I don't know, maybe sophomore, and I can feel it coming, and I'm like, and I call my mom. I'm like, you got to come pick me up. Like I can't drive home. I can't do anything.
Yeah.
So she came and picked me up. And I'm in this car, and I'm just got the worst headache of my life. Can't see anything, just feels terrible. And it's right after lunch, so I just ate.
Full stomach.
And so she's like, "Well, honey, I need to go run some errands." And I'm like, "Are you serious?"
She rushed to get you,
and I'm like, "You gotta
go
home." She's like, "You call me in the middle of doing errands. I gotta finish them." And I'm like, "You gotta be kidding me!" And so she goes to Thriftway, the local grocery store.
Do you go in with her, or are you sitting in the
No, I stay in the car.
Yeah.
And she parks the car away. And I am sitting there. I don't care what anybody else is looking at me. And she goes in there, and it felt like probably like 2.5 hours, but it's probably like 5 minutes.
Yeah. Well, when you're with a migraine.
And I have my head out. I have my door open because I can't roll down the window or whatever. I just have my head open.
Your head is open.
Sorry, the door open and my head outside, and it's like I'm trying to get cool air, and finally she gets in the car, and we're about to go, and I just just in the Thriftway parking lot, just everywhere. And my mom's like, "Well, what do we do?" And I'm like, I don't know. Go home, leave, let's go. And so we just left it there. Like, I'm pretty sure it was raining, so it's gonna wash out. But it was, I was just like out the side of the car, just and then we left.
Close the door.
We left. I felt bad, but I was like, just get me home to my dark room.
Yeah. Migraines are the worst.
So
I had one like a month or two ago when I was trying to fall asleep.
Oh,
I did not sleep. I laid there. I felt it. I was like, first it was like a normal headache, because the way I don't think my vision goes out right away.
Really?
But it's like it starts like as a normal headache, and it's like it's like headache,
and
and it like starts to hurt, and then like the vision gets weird, and then like you can feel behind your eyes, and I was like agonizing in my bed for hours.
So bad.
Yeah. Okay, next question.
What question is this?
We got two more.
Two more. Okay.
Yeah.
Including this one?
Yes.
Okay.
What breed of dog is the most popular in the United States?
Lab. I don't even need your multiple choice.
A, pug. B, beagle. C, labradoodle retriever. D, a cat.
Okay, well, I'm glad you did let me answer lab, because it's not even one of them. So I don't think labradoodle puppy. That's not that common.
When did I say labradoodle puppy?
Oh, sorry, labradoodle. Did you say labradoodle?
I said, okay, it's a lab retriever is the option.
Lab.
Yeah.
You're correct. Yeah.
Because you have one.
No, I have a mix between that.
Oh, you have half a lab.
Yeah.
I hate when I buy a dog and it comes in half. Like, what the hell? I bought a whole dog. That was a really funny joke, Jack. Thank you, Logan.
Who are you most jealous of? Besides
Easy.
Logan
No, I know. I'm not jealous of you at all. I know exactly who this is, and it pisses me off.
Who?
My girlfriend's celebrity crush.
Who is that?
She'll never love me as much as she loves him. Yeah.
That was a terrible answer.
Why?
You made fun of me for my, what was it? What did you make fun
I'm
of
not,
me for?
okay, but who is realistically do I have to be jealous of?
Logan. I got it going for me, man.
Bro.
I'm on this podcast.
You're where I am too. The only thing you thought about me being jealous is I'm also doing that.
What?
The only, okay. I should be jealous of you because you're a host of the number one podcast in the world. Well, so am I.
What about, like a famous celebrity who makes millions of dollars?
I just said a famous celebrity who makes millions of dollars.
Did you really?
Yeah. I said my girlfriend's celebrity crush. Because not only is he a famous celebrity.
Who is it?
His name is Matthew Gray Gubler.
He sounds like a nerd.
Yeah,
I'll be honest.
He is. He's ugly. But she loves him, and he's rich, so.
All right. Well, I can get down.
Okay, how many keys are on a piano?
52.
86?
Uh-oh.
88?
Oh, no.
87? Or 7?
What are my options?
Oh my gosh. Okay.
86, 87,
86, 87, 88, or 7?
I'm feeling 87.
That is incorrect.
Damn it.
It's 88.
Dang it. I should have gone with
okay,
my
I'm glad I got a few out of you that were wrong because this was a really weird selection of questions. But man, you have so many options. Let's go with I'm curious about a lot of them. We're going to have a segment in a future episode where I just have you answer all these crazy questions.
That's fine. I'm fine with that.
Because I feel like there's a lot of stories. But I'm going to go with, what is the meanest you have been to someone that just did not deserve it?
Oh, I feel so bad about this because I wasn't even mean. So, she's probably not listening. But so,
I doubt she's listening.
So, in high school, my senior year, we had this lunch table, which was like a group of my friends, my buddies. Well, there was about 10 of us maybe at this lunch table.
That's a lot of people on one table.
And so there's this, she'll remain nameless.
Give her a fake name.
Liliana.
That could be real, man. There might be a Liliana listening right now.
Whatever.
Okay,
so Liliana. This was towards the end of lunch, and I feel like a lot of my jokes that I make as I don't know, as myself are like, Jack, literally no one likes you, or like literally no one cares what you think. Like, just
mean of your friends.
Yeah, I'm not like
it's just not, your sense of humor.
It's not being serious or anything. But
I think everyone has those friends that you do that to.
Yeah. and we Liliana and I might not be so close, but
you gotta watch yourself. You gotta know who you're talking to.
But it just
because like I meet my friends, but not all of them.
I know, but she goes and she says something about me like made fun of me for something. I don't even remember.
Oh, so she started.
Yes, it wasn't even, and I just no hesitation turned around and I said, Liliana, literally no one at this table likes you. She starts and she's like, it's all teary up, and I'm like, oh my god, like I feel so bad. Like I in the moment, like I didn't even mean it, didn't even realize who I was talking to. Like it just came out naturally, and I was like, I feel so bad. And like after lunch and everything, I'm like snapped him, like, hey, I'm really sorry. Like I didn't mean it. Like I felt so bad.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, that was something I wish I could take back.
That is mean.
I know it was.
But like, why is she gonna cry at one thing?
I'm not gonna say anything.
No, that's really mean, and especially if she doesn't really like know how you joke around. So if she thought
exactly like if it was
that's
to one of my
why
friends,
that's why though. Yeah, she
if
doesn't
it was to
know
one of my
your
friends,
sense
they
of
would have been
humor.
like, you're short or you're skinny, whatever.
Or you're dumb.
Yeah, all that.
I do that. I say that to you.
Yeah, so I don't know.
But you are the host of the most amazing podcast in the country.
Yeah.
And that is going to do it for this amazing episode.
Yeah. Make sure to reach out to us on Instagram at CougsChaos or on our Gmail.
Email us at cougschaos@gmail.com. Let us know what you like, what you don't like. Maybe give us some segment ideas. Maybe let us know if you want to be on an episode. Send us money.
I know we're going to have some future guests after Thanksgiving. Some of our friends are coming home for Thanksgiving. We're going to have them on. And make sure you tune in next week. We got
fun guests next week, and it's gonna be a good episode. And then make sure to tune in on Thanksgiving because we got a fun Thanksgiving episode planned for you guys.
Thanksgiving Yep.
It's going to go out on Thanksgiving, so, maybe you're busy. But, hey, it could be a family time. Everyone
sit around the fire.
Sit around the Thanksgiving fire and listen to the Cougs Chaos podcast because it's going to be themed. And, it's going to be a great time. Thank you so much for listening, and go Cougs. Go Cougs.